One more again. Let's see. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm
There
here.
you go.
I'm here. I'm sorry. I don't know. Let's just do the review. And the first part of this is awful anyway. This is old as movie review.
Can we just please bring it home?
Yes. Racing Arizona, 1987. All right, we can do the synopsis game now, Don. Act like nothing ever happened. An ex-con and an ex-cop meet, marry, and long for a child of their own. When it's discovered that High is unable to have children, they decide to snatch. Look, this is too much. Yeah, so that's what it's about. So when a this is crazy. Nothing. When a childless couple and an ex-cop decide to help themselves to another family's quintuplets, their lives become more complicated than they anticipated. That's IMDb. That's what we're going with. Okay, that's it. No game. The game has been played. The cast: High is Nicolas Cage, Edwina is Holly Hunter, Gail is John Goodman, Evil is William Forsythe, Dot is Francis McDormand, Leonard Smalls is Randall Tex Cobb, Nathan Arizona is Trey Wilson, Glenn is Sam McMurray, and the machine shop worker, his friend, is M. Emmett Walsh, who Roger Ebert said, who just recently passed away, M. Emmett Walsh. Roger Ebert said, if M. Emmett Walsh is in a movie, it's a great film. And he had to rescind it for one that he made. But M. Emmett Walsh just passed away at 88 years old, had like 600 credits on IMDb. Salute to M. Emmett Walsh.
Cool.
Yeah. Trivia. The character of Leonard Smalls was created when the Coen Brothers tried to envision an evil character, not from their imagination, but one that High would thought up. And the Coen Brothers wanted this film to be the polar opposite of their debut. As such, they made it more positive and upbeat with sympathetic characters. And the film was influenced by the works of Paddy Chayefsky and writers such as Tennessee Williams, known for Southern literature. Okay, ready? Let's go. The film. The Coens often use rural settings where seemingly nothing happens of import to create these wild stories. So Fargo, Blood Simple, The Man Who Wasn't There, No Country for Old Men, A Serious Man. The Coen brothers often imply that characters who are seemingly devious in nature are in fact the slice of life we all look at and for. They do a lot of disjointed families and ne'er-do-wells. Also a big theme in the Coen Brothers movie. I have Fargo on the wall. That's a big one. And there's a pattern of one character in Coen Brothers films that doesn't speak all that often. Fargo, who's Grim Gorsgard, No Country for Old Men, Anton Chigurh, and the main character and The Man Who Wasn't There. I love this love story. This is a love story that I'm like, I find real. Don't you find this
love? It happens like often.
Right, but
often, but it happens. It's definitely things that we've heard from real life.
Was that Chips? All right, I don't like Oreos. I never even smelled an Oreo. I don't eat junk at home. I'm a pathological liar. I'm taking creatine, also known as bubblegum soda. Yeah. Diet.
Question. So you already established who the characters are in this thing, right? They're all criminals and shit.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
Right. You know what I find curious?
Go ahead.
I tried looking it up and I didn't get a direct answer. So, but I want to know specifically the number of how many times Nicolas Cage has played a criminal or an ex-con.
It's a high number.
He's done it a lot.
It's a high number, but he does it differently every time.
Every time, it's a completely different guy.
He's such a good actor.
Yeah. I also want to know how many times he's narrated in his own movies.
It's got to be 5 at least, right?
I feel like it has to be double digits, damn near.
No,
I think so. Where he's narrated at least a portion of the film.
Okay.
Especially opening intros.
Raising Arizona, Trapped in Paradise. He did.
Yeah.
Con Air.
I don't remember.
The Weatherman.
I don't remember. I didn't want to do it now, Dick.
It's a movie show. We're doing movies.
We're just gonna keep saying things, and I'm not gonna remember.
Just gonna eat Oreos and
Yeah.
cry.
Yeah.
All right. I think a love story that is really love. So well done because the language is so rich, so beautiful in this film. The way they make, I don't want to say rubes and bumpkins sound. They make these people sound smarter than the average human.
Well, I think that's intentional for that because they're trying to sound smarter than what their class allows them to be.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Making the
It's a
best.
pretty old trope when you think about that. It's
Yeah,
really, really, really old trope.
that's an early Hollywood trope.
Yeah.
Making the best out of the worst situations as well. Another Coen Brothers trope. There's some funny lines. Well, sometimes I get the menstrual cramps real hard. Fucking.
That was. I didn't know where we were going after this. When this beginning of this movie, I was like, wow, I don't know what the fuck's going on here.
I liked how they released him the first time, and the first place he goes is the shortstop because he's going right back to jail.
Mm-hmm.
I just wrote Nicolas Cage, the fucking man. I'll be waiting. I'll be waiting. You ate sand? Such a good. The Coen Brothers' rich use of language pertaining to geographical location is also spot on. No, I sure don't. When she says I don't have a bow, and then he just marries her, just puts a ring on. Nope, and there's no pretense. They just right here's your love. Hoping for the future, a future that was only 8 to 14 months. And then I love the parole board.
The person that he married, because we jump, and you like to jump, and we get.
I like to jump. Yeah,
you like to jump, and we like to assume and hope
that people have seen this movie. Yeah, yeah.
But yes,
he marries Edwina. He marries the
cop who takes his mug shots every time he gets arrested.
Yeah, that's what he. The parole board is so good. When they're they're so funny. I do. You bet I do. Okay then. So great. M. Emmett Walsh sadly just died.
Coen Brothers.
Yeah.
This is before Wes Anderson.
Oh yeah.
So Wes Anderson borrowed a lot from the Coen Brothers.
Yeah, and Scorsese and
because Wes Anderson is kind of a younger guy, right?
Not
He's
anymore.
Been around for a while though.
Wes is probably
like 50s?
Late 50s now, probably mid 50s.
Because I felt so much Wes Anderson in this film, but once I realized it was Coen Brothers, I was like, yeah, they kind of do this type of dialogue and quick scene cut things too.
Yeah,
that's kind of their thing.
I don't know that Wes does dialogue as well as Ethan Coen and Joel Coen because
Wes, it's not as well, but the pacing is quite similar. Whereas
fast cuts, jump cuts,
da 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 da. Okay, and then
but this is one of the few movies where I feel like the Coen, like you've seen No Country for Old Men, right?
Yeah,
it's not fast.
No, but that was purposely
right. So I think this is super purposeful too because Fargo's not that fast either.
Yeah,
like I think this was an intention because depending.
It would seem like that's one of their bags, like one of their tools is fucking around with pacing.
Yes.
Yes. They're like one of those cats that like to slowly dub speed down to 0.5 and then turn it up to 2.5. Depending on what they're trying to go.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
The idea that they can't
speed rather, sorry.
Yeah. The idea that they can't have a family is a cruel joke of the whole thing, this woman who looked as fertile as the Tennessee Valley. It's a great line. The doctor shows them the cigar with how they can't have a kid. That's great. He has a cigar in his hand pointing to a uterus. I never noticed that. I've seen this movie probably 40 times. I've never noticed that. The tableaus of the thing are so amazing too. Like when she's sitting on the bed and he's getting ready for work, the real Greek tableaus. I even caught myself driving by convenience stores that weren't on the way home, meaning he can't do this married life. And then, we thought it was unfair that some should have so much and so many should have so few, referring to the baby that was born, the Arizona, by the way, unpainted Arizona is so funny. the Arizona family who runs the unpainted Arizona furniture chains. They had 7 kids, and
5
They had 5 kids. I have glasses.
quintuplets.
And yeah,
Harry, Larry, Gary, and Nathan.
Nathan Jr.
Harry, Larry, Gary, Sally, and Nathan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what a fucking beginning before the credits even start.
Harry,
God.
Larry, Gary, Barry.
See, the rhyming name
Those
trope.
are all boys. Yeah,
the rhyming name trope.
Wasn't Sally.
Okay, I don't care. The rhyming name trope is really... I mentioned that a couple shows ago. And then the credits roll 11 minutes into this movie. It's great.
And it's beautifully done.
So
also
good.
with the punch out thing.
Yep.
I don't know why I like that so much. I guess we kind of take for granted now these intro credits, and it's an art thing, and nowadays it's not really a thing anymore unless it's like an action film, like where you were like, and name of the movie. You know what I'm saying? We don't really. A lot of movies now throw that in the back end. They won't even have it in the front anymore. They just get straight to the movie, which is cool too. It's cool if some movies just jump right in it.
Yeah, I sort of.
But you don't really see intro credits anymore.
I like intro credits, but I also understand why people don't do them now. I get it.
Yeah, because it's a waste of time. Get to the movie.
Yeah. See, exactly. That's why. I never noticed how fucking creepy that painting in the kid's room is. Did you see that painting of the clowns on the side?
Oh no, I didn't notice.
Oh man, it was super creepy. And then Nicolas Cage is trying to pick out the best one. He's sort of playing God. This is like the only time he's in control of his own life, and he can't do it.
He kind of almost dropped one of those kids.
Yeah. He can't do it. Reading Dr. Spock, which was all hooey in the 80s and all the rage. And then High's already overmatched by these kids. They're all crawling all over him. They're going
he was doing a lot of funny tiptoeing cartoony gimmicks, like trying not to make too much noise because the parents were downstairs listening to all the records, and
there was a shot from under the crib that was really good.
The shots under the crib were really good. The following the babies running around crawling, like somebody just literally following a baby crawling around with the camera was really good.
Timing also a big thing in Coen Brothers films. Just missing the caper happening. Oh yeah. So a time like when his wife's coming up the stairs and just missing the actual the kidnapping happening. That's such a Coen Brothers trope. Just being a second too late. Don't you come back here without a baby. Great. Here's the instructions. Throws the book at her. I mean, what is amazing through all this is that Ed is really going through a mental breakdown. She's having a nervous breakdown, but she wants a kid so bad. So you sort of feel like you don't feel pity for her. Well, I guess you do sort of feel pity for her as a character, but as someone that can't have a kid, so we all know people who've gone through this, and it's horrible and painful. And would someone react like this? And it's not out of the realm of possibility that someone would.
Have you seen? Go
ahead.
I can't say it because that's gonna ruin it. Fuck.
You can't tell me?
Yeah. Now I regret. Now, I'm now gonna have to wait till time passes and.
All right.
I can't tell you.
All right, don't.
I'm not my mother's child. That's what I can't tell you, man.
When Nicolas
kidnapped me, man.
I don't care. This is far more interesting. When Nicolas Cage is going through the house to make it ready, and he flips open the Playboy and then puts it back under the bed and takes it back and flips open.
I wrote that down. I said he's done weird guttural noises for a long time. He's been doing that for a long time. He goes,
yeah. It's like it's Jim Carrey before Jim Carrey. Now this guy's really
he was bizarre.
Physical, super physical. Mind his little fontanelle. Great lines. Such great lines. Let us preserve this moment in pictures.
Yeah.
And they sort of know they can't handle it, like Ed and High. So are they losers or are they just people going through it? It's like both, right? It's a little bit of both.
Yeah, they're losers. They can't get right. Ne'er do wells. They have no control over their inhibitions and their primal urges. It would
Right.
seem he can't resist robbing places, and it's just a itch that he has to scratch because it's not like he can't get a job. He's gotten a job before.
Yeah.
And he's not actually a hardened criminal because every time he
No.
robs someplace, he does it fully well knowing that there's no bullets in his gun.
Right. He wants to get less years too when he gets
zero
caught.
intention. Yeah, he knows he's going to get caught.
Yeah.
So literally, it's
like a born to lose tattoo on your arm.
Right.
Gale
I
and
wonder
Evil.
what the significance of his Woody Woodpecker tattoo is.
Well, let's hold off on that.
It never came up.
Well, he's a troublemaker. Woody Woodpecker is a troublemaker and an instigator.
I don't think you would call that this character though. Troublemaker and instigator.
You don't think High's a troublemaker?
For himself, sure, but not for others. Woody Woodpecker annoys other people. Nobody else seems to be really concerned that he has, this recidivism issue. It's just kind of just like, yeah, all right, whatever, dude. You keep doing the same dumb shit.
Yeah, but that propels the story, so you got to keep it, keep it there. Gale and Evil escaping is so good. It is.
Yeah.
It might be the best escape ever. Just the constant.
It was very. You know what it is?
John Goodman,
but also every one of his scenes where he does that type of yelling, because he had it about 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
It was so long.
Yeah.
It was so fucking long. The guy was just like, "Nah, we're gonna rock out with this. Just hold it right there."
But because it worked. Why does it work? Like so if you have ever seen Barton Fink, he's in that with John Turturro. It's another Coen Brothers movie.
I didn't see it. I know you're talking about that, but I didn't see it.
Such a great film. And he's yelling. I mean, he's yelling in The Big Lebowski. Like he's yelling in a lot of Coen Brothers films. But I also it's funny. Like they know the comic aspect of John Goodman, who's a big guy yelling.
George Clooney.
Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou?
That a Coen Brothers? Makes
sense.
That
it? Is that what you wanted to ask me?
I couldn't remember the name of the movie.
Yeah. Doing their hair while in shit-stained prison.
From the South? Are they from the South, the Coen Brothers?
Minnesota. Land of the Timberwolf. Doing
that one Timberwolf.
Yeah. Doing their hair while in shit-stained prison garb is unwanted guests always knocking at the door when you don't need them or want them, so they go over to High and Edwina's. Welcome home, son. Where's he been? It's great. And then they have to do the crisscrossing lies. We released ourselves on our own recognizance. Come on.
We didn't think they had any more to offer us.
Yeah. Such great. So great. The male trait of not feeling like you wear the pants in the family, like that's prevalent in a lot of Coen Brothers films too. When John Goodman says, "Who's wearing the pants in the family, H.I.?" and Edwina just shuts him down immediately again, like right in front of him. The dream and the premonition that something is coming, and this is the first time you see Leonard Smalls. The dream, the premonition, having a vision. He was especially hard on the little things, and he shoots the bunny, he shoots the lizard, blows up.
Where's this guy from? And I know his face. I know he's like
he's been in a lot. Randall Tex Cobb,
1990s guy.
He's been like a bouncer in movies, cowboy shit. I believe he was in.
He just was always goon face number one.
Yeah, but he was a real hard ass in real life. Like he was a genuine motherfucker, but he didn't know how to ride a motorcycle. So if you notice the scenes where he's on a motorcycle, it's not him. You notice that?
Whoever was on it was nasty with it. So I believe it. They did a lot of stunt work with that motorcycle. They
did.
The camera work with that motorcycle.
Camera work, the mobile camera work in this film is unbelievable.
Like somebody was doing life risking shit, hanging out of a car, holding the fucking camera and shit.
Yeah. There's a very dark the song that the lullaby that Ed's singing to the baby is very dark. It's about murdering a child that's being murdered. Did you hear that lullaby?
No, I don't think I caught it.
Yeah. Also on the sun-up shot, the baby crying sounded like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Did you hear that?
No.
Still a businessman.
It's a new segment. Did you hear that?
I mean, the answer's always going to come back no.
No.
Cops in the FBI having an issue was very funny. That was super fast paced. The Mama Don't Love Me tattoo on Smalls, I love that. The way John Goodman smokes the cigarette while eating those fucking cornflakes is so funny. He inhales smoke and cornflake at the same time. I don't know how he did that. We're having some decent friends over, and then like the friends that come over are the least decent of the whole crew.
Yeah.
Always friends who want to tell you how to raise your family, be this or that, and no one has their shit together. High ain't built for asshole kids and slow life family shit. Watch this. Hit the deck, boy. He just throws fucking. Gotta get his dip tat. Gotta get his dip tat.
Child actors got the shit beat out of them back in the 80s. And they just threw shit at a child.
Just deal with it.
Made him flinch.
Just deal with it.
You know?
And High's going all the way through it here when he's holding the shoes. I don't know, Glenn. Yeah, honey, what if you get run over? Like that whole High carrying those fucking shoes. Now Glenn wants to swing. He's talking about fucking Ed and High fucking Dot. And that, High loves Ed. And High got real pissed off. Hit him. And, And now the most famous scene in the movie, the huggy scene. That son of a bitch. You son of a bitch.
That was a much longer scene than I anticipated.
Great.
That scene went on forever.
And it was great.
The running was hilarious. That's another one of those things where, like I said, there's such similarities with the Coen Brothers and Wes Anderson and how they direct their actors to do. And granted, I'm sure there's obviously, it's probably twofold because these actors know how to do quirky. They know how to do wacky.
Yeah.
Right? And to do kind of almost vaudevillian body movements, right? Yeah. They do a lot of vaudevillian body movement harkening back.
And you have to really these are characters they've created.
Yeah.
You can feel character, even if John Goodman is seeming like he's a character. This is a heavy character work film.
Yeah. The scene this Huggy scene where Nick Cage is, he goes to rob the convenience store to steal the Huggies. He pulls pantyhose over. The kid pushes the button to call the cops, and the wife hears it, and she bounces on him basically.
You son of a bitch, yeah.
So now there's a chase scene because he's running away from the cops for miles. Yeah. He's been running for miles,
which he's used to.
And
which he's used to.
Yeah, and. Right, he doesn't even actually evoke any emotion on his face while he's doing this thing. That's another one of the funniest parts is that choice that he made to be he's not in a panic.
No,
he's very aware and conscious of everything that's going on.
Calm he is in the film.
Yeah, it's the most comfortable he is.
Yeah,
everybody else he's uncomfortable all the time, but this he's in a zen almost.
Yeah, it's like a trance. And then the lines.
He walks into this. So he runs from a convenience store to the supermarket, right? Because he ran over some houses. He got chased by a dog.
Yeah.
Now he's getting chased by a pack of dogs.
Yeah. And the lines, hold on, Nathan, we're going to go pick up Daddy. And she just does a complete U. Yeah, and then when he goes to carjack the guy, son, you got a panty on your head. Great line. And then the dogs are talking to each other. That it's like that Doberman runs and that little dog comes next to it and they bark in each other's faces and it looks like they're having a conversation.
Yeah.
I don't know how the Coen Brothers fucking figured that out to make that look like a thing.
Oh, Nick Cage runs to
the supermarket
after the car crash because there was a car crash. Whatever, there's a chase, a car crash. He runs to the supermarket.
And when he gets the gun pulled on him.
The supermarket. He gets the gun pulled on him. But the cops are shooting wherever. It doesn't matter. In public, they're just trying to shoot him in the back. It doesn't
Keystone
matter.
Cops. The Coen Brothers are super. influenced by Harold Lloyd and Keystone Cops and Buster Keaton in the movements and the way things are shot. So when an action sequence is happening here, the camera's totally sped up. And the film is totally sped up. So you're going through the supermarket with the ladies with the rollers in their hair, the cop just shooting at every aisle. So every aisle's got something different. That's also like an Italian. That's like Fellini. That's also like Godard.
This panorama, this panning thing you got going on here, panoramic view almost, and like the pacing that Nick Cage was running at was fucking hilarious, and still he's keeping a straight eye. He's getting shot at as he goes through every fucking aisle, straight eye, deadpan, and he's literally practically bouncing up and down as if he's in like a long distance, jogging.
Yeah, it's like in the New York Marathon.
Yeah. He's like has an even pace.
Yeah,
that shit was funny. The scene where the cop chases him through somebody's house, and they got
so good.
The cameraman has to run after these dudes, like behind them through like in a one take.
I have to think that's
insane.
I have to think it was on a track. I have to think it was on a track.
I don't see how. How could it be on a track? They ran up and down stairs. They ran up and down and through rooms and through curtains and then opened the door, ran through that door, cut a left. Huh?
It was so smooth. You know what? Maybe on the parts where it was bumpy, they sped it up and it didn't look so bumpy.
No, I just think it was somebody who was it was pre Jerry Springer or no pre Maury Povich running after people running off the stage with the camera.
That's your.
It was just a guy with good fucking calves and good quads.
Wait a minute.
And sturdy shoulders that was chasing after these.
That's your point of reference. Running after You Are Not the Father.
Have you ever seen You Are Not the Father?
Of course I have.
That's beautiful camera work right there. When these people start hauling ass, trying to find the exit in the backstage. This guy has to keep up.
It is not bad. And the look on High's face when the clerk shoots him with the shotgun, like not again.
He looks so disappointed.
Yeah.
Why, man?
Yeah. No. It's like the face of, you're gonna make me run back that way. It's like such indifference. Like, and the banjo and the yodeling is the most authentic shit that's going on in film at that time. It's so wild.
Nick Cage, like we said before, is so good at emoting and just doing this. He was like a precursor to Jim Carrey, like we said. He had in that scene, he was in a car. I don't know if he was in that car that he carjacked or when he was with his wife. He had a scene where he had a squint eye and a big eye.
Yeah.
And he held that shit for so long.
When she punched him in the face.
He held it for like forever.
It's like you have to believe that she punched his eye closed and this eye opened up. It's so good. Nicolas Cage, the fucking man. It ain't armed robbery if the gun ain't loaded. The slide directions while explaining that he's a frontiersman to get the Huggies is so amazing.
Yeah.
So amazing. Well, ma'am, we sure didn't mean to influence anybody. Evel, one of the great lines in that film, when they come back home and Ed's like, you got to get out of here tomorrow. You're a bad influence. Man, we didn't mean to influence anybody. And now the boys are offering the score to hide the Bank of LaGrange.
Yeah.
The sun don't rise and set on the corner grocery, H.I. Great. Fucking great. Ordinarily, we don't associate with that type of person.
Yeah, I was saying that the politician that told him about it.
Yeah, there's a pederast. These guys just don't care, though, right? Nothing to lose, nowhere to go. But they're awful friends to High, telling him to leave Ed because they have nothing. They want him to be miserable like them.
Right.
Yeah.
Crab in a barrel.
Yeah. Writing Ed a Dear John letter at the table. He believes he's bad luck. Now Smalls is on the trail and he's at the furniture store. And Smalls has this air of supernaturality, something like otherworldly, like nothing these people have seen before. My friends call me Lenny, but I ain't got no friends.
But you know what's funny is that it seems as though, and like we said, this seems to be most casting in these Coen Brothers movies. There was no actor that didn't pick up the slack because even the Arizona character was funny as shit.
Great.
That interaction with him, he was not deterred by this bodyguard. He was like, dude, I don't give a fuck about you or your name or nothing.
Yeah.
You know? He was a funny character himself.
He was. Gone Before You Can Look Up, when Arizona threatens to call the cops. He's out in a plume of smoke, pretty much. That's very cartoony. Coen Brothers love Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah.
You know, they say it in all their films, pretty much. Glenn reveals the whole thing, but wants the kid for himself and Dot, but the boys heard it all. Glenn's an asshole. I mean, every character in a Coen Brothers movie is just an asshole, for the most part. And Glenn wants the kids, and Dot's an asshole because she wants a baby again, but doesn't want to have a baby. Maybe she doesn't want to sleep with Glenn anymore. You know, that could be a thing to that too. And you know, Dot is Frances McDormand, who's married to Joel Coen.
Didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. One of the funniest on-screen fights ever. The limitations of fighting in a trailer is so funny. Punching through I'm sure that's where Seinfeld got that episode with the pool table. You know, the limitations of putting a pool table into a room, the limitations of fighting in a trailer.
I don't remember that one.
With the Maestro, with Bob Cobb.
I have to rewatch it.
Yeah.
I know I've seen it. I've seen all of them.
Yeah. So good. Like, just such a good, funny fight. High is picked up like a piece of wood and smacking or he gets smacked on the back, and then they tie him up with like the fan cord.
Even the action scenes were shot very well, and Coen Brothers do have a lot of action scenes.
They do.
Because like even the part where John Goodman has him yoked up against the wall, and they follow his fist banging into the door. They watch it, like the camera pan to it, and then they follow the fist swing out and punch through the wall.
Yeah,
you know, and miss Nick Cage's head.
Very inventive.
Pretty cool.
Very inventive.
It was like a John Woo pan, you know.
Yeah,
it was like a John Woo action pan there. It was interesting.
Probably
following the fists, you know.
Probably taken from a lot. They love Bruce Lee films, so probably taken from a lot of that as well. The speech about getting him back while loading guns, it's so funny. You know, let's go get Nathan Jr. So good. Another Robin, old timey people, and that's a thing in Coen Brothers movies. If you remember No Country for Old Men, it's almost the same exact robbery scene when Shigure goes into the convenience store with the old guy, but it's more about death. It's almost the same exact way they shot Raising Arizona. Then he wants to buy balloons. Well, no, unless round is funny. Great line. Great line. Okay, then. He's just so used to getting robbed. He just, okay. Okay, then. Leaving the baby on top and then going back while screaming is so funny. So they leave the baby on the top of the car. And,
that's one of those long screaming scenes. It was
pounded,
they screamed until they ran out of air, took more air, and then did it again.
Yeah, and John Goodman's not even pounding like this; he's punching the dashboard. So good. Ed puts it out there. No matter what, a divorce is coming. And
hold on, they turn around, they bust a U-turn to go retrieve the kid.
Yeah.
And when they get back there, because before the guy with the gap in his teeth, I forget his name, before he leaves, he tells the old man, you're going to count to 836.
Yeah.
And you're going to count backwards.
I'll come back in 5.
I'm going to come back in 5. And I'm like, you'll never know. And I'll know if you're cheating.
It's for me to know. If you find out.
When he comes back, the old man has already counted to like 7. He's already counted down to 750. So he went all the way to 800 something. Now he's counted backwards.
Yeah.
And he goes, these guys are full of shit.
Yeah. Then he gets up and sees the car.
He goes, bullshit. He gets up and he sees the car. He goes back down to the full and starts counting again.
Yeah.
That was very funny.
Yes.
Made me laugh.
Great line here. If I'm as bad as you, what good are we to each other? Great line. Great line. Gail and Gail and Evil robbing the bank with the baby. The old man describing motion and gravity. If I get down on the floor, well, then I couldn't be freezing. And if I'm freezing, well, then I'm in motion. Who's doing that? Who's writing that? It's so good. You hear that? We're using code names. Dumb criminals. So then they rob the bank, dye canister explodes, and they run into Evel and Gail. So Hi and Edwina run into Evel and Gail. And they want the baby, and now Smalls has the baby.
Right.
And now it's the final showdown, Smalls and Hi for the baby. Great, two sets of great lines here. What is he? Do you see him too? What a fucking great line. Give me that baby, you warthog from hell. Maybe that's what he is. Maybe he's from hell. Maybe he's just that.
Well,
he's real.
He's a bounty hunter. Bounty hunters were an extremely popular thing in the 1980s.
And then Dog.
Well, yeah, that guy stood in the 1980s. He refused to leave the 1980s.
You could count time by his hairdo.
Is he dead?
No, his wife died, the big lady, and then he got married. He got married like an hour later. He was ready to go. He went right down the aisle.
Selena treatment.
Ooh, J-Lo killed Selena. When Nicolas Cage starts dry heaving is so funny. What an improv thought to just start dry heaving because you're so nervous that you're gonna die. You start dry heaving. And Nicolas Cage's facial expressions here when he's getting slapped, like you said, he's like opening one eye, closing one eye, spits his tooth out.
He spit his tooth out in his face. That was funny.
And then it's revealed that he has the same tattoo as Hi. What does that mean? Is that his father?
Know. No, that guy's like damn near the same age as him.
You sure?
He's not that old. He's very dirty. No, I'm not sure. It's very hard to tell how old that dirty biker man is.
Do they know each other? Is that the illusion that they know each other? That they're maybe cut from the same cloth?
A path that he could have gone down, I guess. I don't get it at all.
Or maybe that this is the future?
I don't know. And I don't think
this is a Coen Brothers thing.
About the Coen Brothers made that clear at all.
No.
And I don't like it. I don't like that it wasn't clear. I would rather just not spell it out for me.
Well, then this is why we have a show. We can think and be analytical about it.
But there's nothing about it. There's nothing that coincides about it because we're talking about somebody that's a hardened criminal hunter who also is an outlaw, right? An outlaw hunter who's an outlaw, and someone who is a bottom of the totem pole outlaw, which is Nick Cage.
But what is he? But then what's the point? Because
I don't fucking know.
Or maybe because he sees him in his dream earlier in the film. Maybe he is him. Maybe he feels that this is him. You know, like just another criminal, or just what he could have been, or the parallel path of what he is. Could be that. You don't know. You don't care.
I don't know.
And then
I wanted to care. It went nowhere.
And it wasn't something edible, so you stopped caring. Do
not care.
Yeah. So he's getting bear hugged, reaching at him. High's reaching at Leonard Smalls, pulls a grenade pin, and he puts it up under his finger, and he says to him, "I'm sorry." A great "I'm sorry." And then a particularly beautiful scene. Leonard Smalls blows up, and now we're in the Arizona house. Arizona realizes they're in love, and they're just on the wrong side of life right now. And High putting his arm around Ed when he puts the baby back. It's tough. It's tough to, and then he says, "You took him, didn't you?" He knows people. Hell, even if it never does for you, you still got each other. And then Arizona shows a really compassionate side by saying what he said about his wife. Yeah. Before you go off and do another foolish thing like busting up, I suggest you sleep on it at least one night. And then this is a thing in Coen Brothers films, dreams, the final dreams of a film. So the dream, Gail and Evel go back to jail because they weren't ready to be let out. Nathan Jr. opening an unmarked...
They took themselves back to jail.
They took themselves back to jail. They went back down into the hole that they climbed out of.
Yeah, with the blue paint on them and
everything. Yeah. Nathan Jr., grown up, opening an unmarked gift from the kindly couple that wants to be anonymous. And then him playing football, being a star, and the couple watching from afar. Glenn getting in hot water with a Polish cop. That was funny because he kept making Polish jokes throughout the movie. Cloudier, Years Away, an old couple being visited by their entire huge family. And he says, was it wishful thinking? Was I fleeing reality? Those are the two bookmark lines. And then he says, in a place far away. I don't know. Maybe it was Utah. And that's the last line of the film. Credits roll. Film about chances, coincidence, wanting something in the face of being nothing, being naive, always funny, always deep, always human. This film isn't the Coen Brothers' best, and that should tell you how prolific they are. This is a 4.4 out of 5.
This was not how you pitched it. I want you to know.
It's a beautiful film. It's a beautifully...
Sure, but you pitched it as, first of all,
good love story, too.
I could have swore that you said this was Jack Nicholson and John Goodman, which I was like, that's weird and interesting. That.
You can go back to the...
I'm going to look.
It's Nicolas Cage.
I'm pretty sure you said Jack Nicholson. That's why I was like,
let's say Jack Nicholson and John Goodman.
Listen, man.
When I know what I've seen...
I'm going to look at it, I'm going to clip this, and I'm going to put them together.
Okay.
Now you're going to make me do some editing and post.
You
for
won't.
Spite.
You won't.
For spite, yes. I do anything for spite.
Okay. You're like me.
Yeah. I'll do anything for spite. But you made it seem as though it was these two criminals with a baby. And it wasn't. It was a baby getting tossed around by several criminals. It really wasn't. There weren't really a pairing of John Goodman and Nick Cage. If anything, I would have loved to have seen more of John Goodman and Nick Cage playing off of each other.
This movie was a perfect hour and 33 minutes. They didn't need any more.
It was a sweet hour and 30. No, you could have took away.
Could have took away?
Yeah. I mean, you could, or rather, you could have added another 5 minutes of screen time with Nick Cage and John Goodman. I would have been fine with that.
The pacing is important.
I give it a smooth 4.2.
Okay.
Like I said, the only thing I wanted more Nick Cage, John Goodman playing off of each other. Goodman. I wanted an explanation for the fucking Woody Woodpecker tattoo.
No, you're not gonna get it.
And maybe more. No, the bank robbery stuff was pretty sufficient, I'd say. We get it. Yeah. Don't need more jail time stuff. Everything else, just those two things, I guess, was on my only little bit of qualms. Otherwise, I thoroughly enjoyed this.
Yeah,
it's pretty fucking funny.
I know what you think is funny. It's just funny. It's a funny film, and it's got good heart, and it's got sort of an uplifting ending.
I mean, they stole the baby, and then whatever.
Well, they gave it back.
Oh yeah, sure, great.
It could have been like the Lindbergh baby, where they bashed its head against the step. It wasn't.
Okay. Well, with that being said, I did not recast this film. Did you?
I didn't either. No.
Yeah, I didn't feel like it. I didn't see the point.
This was great. I might not even upload the first part, to be quite honest with you, because this was better than the first part.
I mean, yeah, the first part was rough. First half was rough.
Very bad. We're might keep it to this. Just so you've been watching. We'll fix it and post old ass movie reviews. Where? That's right. I'm just Sonoblick.
I'm Sonoblick. What?
No, you're supposed to say review movies.
Oh no, we'll fix it and post old ass movie reviews where we review movies pre 1999 for free 99.
I love that catchphrase. What are we watching next week, Don? Do you know? Do you even know what you want to watch next week? Nope.
Didn't we bring something up last time? Didn't we say Raising
Sergeant
Arizona
Kabuki Man. We brought Sergeant Kabuki Man up.
You brought up Sergeant Kabuki Man.
Right, and then you looked at it and you said, I might want to watch this.
Just out of sheer disgusting curiosity.
Right.
Nothing to do because I think it's any good whatsoever.
No.
I don't know what we're going to be watching next week, so I guess you'll find out when we find out.
All right. We'll see you there.
What
That's it.
should we watch? What would you want to
Oh,
watch? Something
I thought it was your choice. I don't know. I
younger,
thought
older?
younger.
What are we thinking?
I don't
Newer,
know.
older? That was
How
87.
about that comedy classic, Birth of a Nation?
This guy really loves saying "Birth of a Nation." It's almost every episode. It's a thing for you.
It's our Birth of a Nation in 5 seconds. I don't know. What do you feel like?
I think that's why that guy really, that Menton guy was like, listen, stop bringing up Birth of a Nation to me.
That's what it was.
I'm telling you, man, I don't want to watch it. Or maybe he let him borrow his copy and he didn't return it.
What a copy of what in 1941? What do you think?
Film roll.
Oh,
copy.
I see.
He was a very wealthy man. They told you he was wealthy.
Yeah, he found him on his personal train.
His personal train.
Right. Could be. Yeah, he might have been a D.W. Griffith collector.
He didn't get back his film roll canister on his personal train movie theater car.
Definitely not. I don't know. What do you feel like? I mean, I would be up for anything.
Let's see.
It's your choice.
Let's see. What's one that people know that we haven't done in a while? And maybe we can grab a guest. How about
How about Angels in the Outfield?
No.
Did I mention Birth of a Nation yet?
Harlem Nights. That's what we're doing next
week. Okay.
Harlem Nights.
Are we really?
I think so. Harlem Nights, or I want it to be something that's a 80s, 90s black comedy.
Okay.
A little bit more mainstream.
Mo Money.
Love Mo Money. I don't think
You've never seen Mo Money?
I'm sure I have. I just don't remember it.
Damon Wayans and Marlon Wayans. They're just con men. And Damon Wayans gets a job in a mailroom, and then he gets into this cocaine thing.
Sounds very familiar.
And it's one of the funniest movies ever made.
There's also Boomerang. That's not really like it's a comedy for sure, but not like, it's more of a rom-com, right? What else?
We're just discussing movies at this point.
This is a post-production, pre-production.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll fix it in post. I'm going to click the button and we'll figure out a movie. And you'll get it when we give it.
Yakubi and Joe signing off.
An exhausted Don Vega signing off. Yeah.